Hello! Here's Nutella to also say hello. I don't know about you all, but most mornings I don't really have the energy to do my hair up all nice, and I like to keep it up and out of my face typically, and I don't like to tie it back like I have it right now because if I wear that for too long, honestly, it gives me a headache. So I decided to pull out one of my 1940s knitting books, and in it they have a snood that you can crochet. Is it Snood or Snood? I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. Let me know in the comments because I couldn't decide. Snood like hood or Snood like food? I wanted to make this snood. I'm gonna go with snood for now. I decided to make this snood because on days like today where I just haven't really done anything to my hair, I want to be able to put it up and away in a comfortable way that looks kind of cute and 1940s-ish, but is just very, very easy to do. I'm gonna stop chatting at you and hop straight into the crocheting of this snood. I raided my yarn stash to see what kind of yarn I could use to make this snood, and I found this white acrylic yarn that I thought would work quite well. I knew that I would also sometimes be wearing this snood when my hair was wet or slightly damp, so I didn't want to use a cotton or a wool that would get heavy with extra moisture, so that's why I went for an acrylic on this one. I also needed a size 3 crochet hook, and what I really like about this book is that they have real sized illustrations of the crochet hooks, so I held up my modern crochet hooks to the size 3 illustration until I found one that fit nearly perfectly, which ended up being, I believe, the 3mm crochet hook. If you've ever done any filet crochet work, this is very, very similar, but you're just creating an open, slightly ovalish shaped mesh. This particular snood is worked from the bottom to the top with nice, large meshes. Some of the instructions were less than clear because they said to use an elongated triple crochet or treble crochet, which is not particularly spelled out in the book, but I just decided to yarn over 3 times before poking through the chain below, and that ended up working out very, very well. This book also is using US or American crochet terminology, so I just had to also remember that while I was crocheting on this particular piece and not get confused again with the crochet I was doing a few weeks ago that had UK crochet terms. This pattern is from the 1940s and is supposed to be a one-size-fit-all. It is still nice that they give you some sort of an idea of what your gauge should be so that you understand if you're hitting kind of the right measurements for this snood. So I just made sure that the meshes that I was making were ending up somewhat in the range of what the pattern was suggesting, although I think mine was slightly larger, but I didn't mind that too much because I knew I would be adding an elastic at the end to make sure that it fits snugly against my head. Now that I had checked everything, I just continued to work on creating this mesh for the snood exactly as the instructions said. This was a very nice, fast piece to work on with chunkier yarn and a chunkier crochet hook, and once I was done with the mesh portion, it was time to measure out the elastic. They did recommend 22 inches, but because I realized I tend to have a slightly larger head or am somehow more prone to getting headaches, I went a little bit longer with the elastic that I chose. I also decided to wrap it around twice just because my elastic was a little bit thin in comparison to my yarn, so I wanted to make sure that I had enough of the elastic to keep it on my head without squeezing my head, I guess. I added the elastic to the edge of the snood as instructed, which is just to add 2 single crochets into each of the mesh loops that border the snood and incorporate the elastic into that. And with that, this very fun yet practical and quick project was complete. I also trimmed my snood with this cute little bow like they had in the instructions, and I have been wearing this snood constantly. I find it a really convenient way to keep the hair out of my face without giving me any kind of headaches. And you will be seeing this snood in next week's video, so if you want to join me, feel free to subscribe because I will be wearing it while I am completely reorganizing my workspace. So if you like watching organization videos and want to get some ideas on how to maybe store your yarns or your fabrics or other parts of your craft stash, feel free to join me again next time.